welcome back to 355 Code. This is another one of our Karel Program tutorials. If you're not familiar with the Karel Program, it is basically an interface which allows you to practice JavaScript in a simple and visual way. Today we're going to be talking about Karel's draw function. So if you saw some of our previous tutorials, then you may have seen that Karel can put down a ball. And let me show you what that looks like. So that's karel.putBall. And here you can write colors. So for example, if I write blue, then when I run the code, so first you want to run it in solo learn, and then here, and you can see that Karel puts down a blue ball. If you're not familiar with this Karel program at all, you can check out some of the starter videos that I'll put in the description below. But I'm assuming that you have this open on your computer and you're following along. So if you've seen some of the previous videos, then you've seen us use this put ball method of Karel to do various things, and we drew a line using balls, etc. And now I want to show you something similar, which is Karel's draw method. So to draw a line with Karel, all you have to do is draw, and then here you want to put the color. So let's say you want a blue line. So I'm going to run the code here and then here, and you can see that Karel draws a line between two squares. Okay, so it's a little different than the put ball function because Karel will also move and also draw a line. And we can draw several lines in different colors if we choose to do so. So let's say Karel will draw blue, then Karel will draw red, and then Karel will draw green. Okay, and then I'm going to run this code. And you can see that Karel draws 3 lines that are in different colors, and each one is from the middle of one square to the middle of the next square. So in order to practice this new drawing method that you just learned, let's have a little bit of a challenge. Okay, and the challenge will be to make Karel draw a spiral. Okay, so we're going to start over here, and then we're going to go to the right and then down and a spiral like that until he ends up in the middle of the board. Okay, and you can do that using this new draw method. If you want to try that yourself, you can pause the video now and give it a try. If not, then just follow along with me and I will be showing you how to do it. So if you want to try it yourself, pause the video now. Okay, welcome back. I hope you did give it a try yourself. And even if not, let's just go through this step by step. So we're going to be using the Karel.draw. Let's say we're going to draw it all in blue for now. And basically we need to draw 9 times for Karel to move from here to here. Okay, so if you've seen the video on for loops, then you'll know that we can just write a for loop, and we'll say let I equal 0. And then as long as I is smaller than 9, I plus plus. Okay, that's a for loop that will run 9 times. And here we can just draw a blue line. So I'm going to format this and run the code. And you can see Karel draws a line all the way to the end. And then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to have Karel turn right. And then we're going to want to do this again. Okay? And let's try running that code and see what happens. Excellent. And let's just check our console. We didn't hit any wall, so we're good. Okay, and now we're going to do this one more time. And that will bring Karel over to this corner. And then after that, we're going to want to go up once. But this time, we don't want to go 9. We're going to want to go 8. Okay, so let's do that here. And here, we will go 8 times. Okay, so let's try running that code. Excellent. Okay, so Karel's exactly where we want him. And then we're going to want to turn right and do it 8 times again. And then 8 times again. And then 7 times. Okay, so let's run the code. Run this code over here and then run down here. And we see Karel is going in a spiral. Whoops, okay, I went one too far. So after we go 8 up here and 8 over here, then we're going to want to already go to 7. Okay, so let's run the code and run it one more time. And that's really the advantage of having this Karel program, is that it's very visual. So we can kind of see our code running and understand where we've made mistakes and bugs and fix them. Okay, so basically let's try and identify some patterns and make our code more efficient before we continue on to finishing out this spiral. Okay, so what patterns can we see? So first of all, we ran this same code 3 times. Okay, I'm going to break it up here. So basically, if we wanted to, we could split this up into another for loop. So we could say for let I equal 0, as long as I is smaller than 2, I plus plus. Okay, and actually I'm just going to change this to j because we already have I in our second for loop, and we want to use different letters for each one. And then I can take this, the thing that we want to run 3 times, and I can put it, here within this for loop, okay, and erase these 2 down here. Okay, so let's just format our code, control format. I feel like okay, yeah, so this is extra here. I'm gonna try formatting that again. And there we go. Okay, so we have a for loop that's going to run 3 times, and each time Karel moves forward 9 and draws. So let's try running the code again. See what happens. Excellent. Okay, so that was one too few. So let's see what happens. So we went here 9, 1, and so let's try this one more time. So you run this and run this again. And there we go. Okay, now our code is running as planned. Okay, because this had basically only run, twice, and we wanted to run 3 times. Great, so now we simplified that, and now basically we see another pattern emerging, right? So we see that we run each of these twice, okay, and each time I goes down by 1. Okay, so let's create another for loop. Okay, and let's say let I equal 8. Okay, and sorry, we're going to use j, let's just use k. Okay, and here let's say as long as I is bigger than, as long as k is larger than 0, okay, k plus plus, k minus minus, okay, because here we're doing counting down, okay, and then each time that we run this code, okay, we are going to run these 2 lines, okay, but instead of using this number 8 here, we are going to use k. Okay, so basically each time k gets smaller, Karel will also move less squares. Okay, so let's run our code and check and see what happens. And Karel went into a complete spiral. Okay, so that's exactly what we wanted to happen. Okay, and now let's see if we have any more ways that we can make our code even more efficient. Okay, so here we see that we still have some repetition. Okay, so let's create a function, and this is also being repeated over here. So let's create a function. Okay, and let's call this fill line, okay? Or let's say draw line, just because we're using the draw function here. Okay, and this function is going to take a parameter, okay, and this is going to be number of squares, okay, and here basically what we're going to do is we're going to run this code, okay, but here instead of 9, okay, we're going to have number of squares, okay, so that means we can take this and replace it with the function draw line, and here we just need to write 9, okay, and then here as well, okay, we can actually just run the function draw line with k and draw a line with k, okay? Because k will be that number, that's the number of squares, and then it'll be replaced over there. Okay, so let's try running our code one more time. So you can see our code acted in exactly the same way. Okay, so now let's try and make our code even more efficient, because we can see that there's a big similarity here between these two functions. So let's try and think of a way that we can combine them both into one function. Okay, so we're going to be using this second one here, but instead of counting down from 8, let's count down from 9. Okay, and then in here we can just have an if statement. Okay, so we're going to draw k, okay, and we're going to draw k again, and if, okay, k is equal to 9, then we're going to draw another line. Sorry, don't want to, just want to copy that. Okay, so now for every number that's not 9, we're going to draw a line twice, but for a line that is 9, we're going to draw it 3 times, just like we are over here. And then we can basically erase this function over here, sorry, that for loop over there, and I'm going to reformat our code. And now I'm going to run the code. And we can see that Karel is doing the same thing as before. Okay, if you want to challenge yourself even more, you can try creating a rainbow spiral. Okay, so if you want to try that challenge, you can pause the video now. And if you haven't seen our video about arrays, you can go check out that video about arrays, and you can try and figure out how to make this spiral into a rainbow spiral. Okay, so I hope you tried that out yourself, and now I'm going to show you how it can be done. So in order to do that, I am going to create an array, and that's going to be rainbow. Okay, and in this array, I'm going to have strings, so I'm going to have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink, brown, black. Okay, and I specifically added 9 colors here because that's the amount of times that we're going to be looping through our function. Okay, and then here we're going to put another parameter, which is going to be our color. Okay, and here instead of drawing blue, we're going to draw color. And then when we loop through our loop and execute our functions, except for k, we are also going to add a color, and that color is going to be rainbow k. okay? Because K will serve as the index. So it'll start from black and then it'll go all the way to red. Okay, if we want to do it the other way around, then we can reverse this array, but I'm not going to do that right now. And you can also use other colors that are not a rainbow. Okay, and now let's try running that one more time. Okay, so you see we're starting off by drawing black lines, and then once we get over there, then we are drawing different color lines until we reach the middle. Okay, so it drew, I feel like it drew black twice. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black lines. Okay, so let's see how many colors we have here in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we have 9 colors in the array, but because an array starts from 0, so actually when we put the index of 9, we're actually exiting the array. We're not hitting this black even, we're hitting outside the array, and the default of draw is that if there's no color, or if the color is not a real color, or undefined, then it'll just draw a black line. Okay, and that's why we have so much black over here. So to fix that, instead we can just do k minus 1. Okay, and then it'll start from the correct position. So let's try running that code one more time. And now it is working correctly. Okay, we drew 3 black lines, and then 2 pink, and now purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you challenge yourself to make the code even better than the code that I wrote, because it could be. But we're going to stop here for today. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, because we're going to have more Karel tutorials like this one. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.